Hey class, welcome to the week 2 perception presentation. Definitely want to go over the directions with you and kind of let you see how you should do a PowerPoint presentation. So basically, you understand exactly what's going on with this assignment. In DQ2, you're going to see two examples of PowerPoint presentations that are not how you should model your presentation after. Okay, those two are actually given to you so you can critique. As you critique, there's going to be things wrong with them. Okay, so don't use those. This is a tutorial to use as the basis of the example. So you're going to compare this to what you're doing when you're critiquing a DQ2. So pay close attention to these directions. Okay, so here you'll see that you'll have a presentation where you have 8 slides all together. Now I'm going to go over some highlights of these directions. By the way, you still have to read these directions. Tutorials don't replace the reading of the directions. So if I don't go over some of the directions, you're still held to it. Okay. So there's 8 slides altogether. The title slide counts, and so does reference slide. The 6 content slides, you'll have a slide for each of the 5 senses and how they impact perception. And then you'll have the 6th slide be about the role of perception in critical thinking. Okay. You'll have bullet points on the slide. You'll see right now in a second, I'll have you follow a 6x6 rule and per slide when it comes to bullet points. You'll see that in a second. You could use pictures, but be very careful because pictures could take up space. So if you try to upload your file to the Dropbox and it doesn't take, you're gonna have to delete those pictures because the file size is too big. Okay. There's a way to cite and reference the pictures. Now, when it comes to presenter notes, they're also called speaker notes. So see speaker notes here and speaker notes here. They're also called presenter notes. Okay, so speaker notes are things that only the person doing the presentation sees, while the audience sees the bullet points. Okay, speaker notes are to be 50 to 100 words per slide. Now you'll be citing information there. You'll be going over what you're going to talk about. No quotes. There should be no quotes on the slides or in the speaker notes. Okay. One other thing to highlight is you got to have 3 sources. All have to be credible, and 1 source comes from the GC library. So if you do all 3 from the library, that's fine, which means they're peer-reviewed research articles. So you have to have a credible source. And the 2 other, I always tell students, use something from the class in the study material. Using websites, a lot of students feel comfortable using websites, but I've seen students lose a ton of points because your information has to be backed up by some kind of credible source. And so if you're using something like Wikipedia or something that's like AliDog, which is unacceptable, you're going to lose a lot of points because that discredits the information on the presentation. So be very careful on what you're using for websites. If I was you, I'd be safe. Use something from GC Library, maybe the course book, and another piece of information, maybe from the study material here. Okay, there's a lot of information to use, so please, take advantage of that. Okay, let me go ahead and go over an example, the example template. So here's what the PowerPoint presentation should look like. Now, you can make this as big as small, but here's your presenter notes here. I kind of moved it up a little to kind of show this is where your presenter notes will be. So notice how there's information typed in here. This is where you have 50 to 100 words. Again, no quoting. Make sure you are typing in your own words and writing in complete sentences. Okay. If you go over 100 words, that's okay. That's fine with me. But notice how here there's bullet points on every, even with the pictures, there's bullet points. There's no paragraph writing, okay? Nothing but bullet points. Now, here's the rule, 6x6 rule, which means no more than 6 bullet points per slide, and there should be a limit of 6 words per bullet point. Now, If you happen to go over the 8-slide requirement because maybe you bled something over to another slide because you're following the 6x6 rule, I'm okay with that. In my class, it's better for you to keep it clean like that and have a few more slides than, you know, get point deductions. There's simple reasons why you want to keep things by the 6x6 rule. One is it's clean. Also, because if you are presenting and if audience is reading your paragraphs, they're not listening to you. So they're not listening to vital information that you have to provide. PowerPoint presentations are there to keep you organized as well as keep the audience on point on where you're at and give them some information. But if you need to have sub bullets, you can have one or two. The most I've seen is 3. Okay, so keep it very informative, but yet very precise as far as this to the 6x6 rule. That's pretty much what the PowerPoint should look like. And if you want to use this template, you can. And this has 11 slides, obviously. So you'll have to, if you use this template, you just have to delete some of the slides. And if you need to, you could just come here, right click, you could do delete slide. Okay. So that's pretty simple as far as that goes. All right. So if you have any questions, please let me know. Hope everybody has a good week.